everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Physical Media. My name is John.
And I'm Faith.
And today here on the channel, we are going to be talking about our favorite things, physical media, film, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about for about 45 minutes to an hour, and that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Faith, how was your week?
It was good. You know, same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Watch anything good on TV this week?
I watched the BS High documentary. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yes. And you said that guy was from Long Island, right?
Yeah, he's from Kings Park, yeah.
Oh, giving us a good name. For people who aren't familiar, a couple years ago, small high school, right? Is it a high school or
Well,
college?
it wasn't even high school. It was fake.
It was a whole fake
scam.
school.
It was a scam. He was trying to get all the loans, and
He took adults out there, right?
yeah, they were like in their 20s. Some of them were in like their early 20s.
And they were able to fool ESPN, right? Into like broadcasting this.
A high school game, yeah.
Well, so BS High, that's on Max, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you did watch some good stuff this week. We also like to start the show off every single week with the news, and there was a pretty good amount of news. We got December Criterion announcements, so if you want to hear what I'm going to be buying in December... What?
I don't.
You don't want to hear. Well, let's find out right now. So Criterion's December, they only had 3. Blast of Silence. I've actually never seen this movie, so I can't really comment if it's going to be good or not. But this is the big one for me. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on 4K Blu-ray.
Okay.
That came out last year on Netflix. I told you to watch it, if you recall, and you said no, even though you told me you love Pinocchio.
No, I never told you that.
You didn't tell me that?
No.
I could have swore you said you love Pinocchio.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do not like Pinocchio.
Oh, I thought you did like Pinocchio.
I didn't. I do not.
Well, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio was
I'm not a big of the fan of like the early Disney movies.
Well, this is modernized in a way.
I'm not a fan of those movies.
Oh, those tales in general? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's based on a book, isn't it, Pinocchio? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's Italian guy or whatever.
Yeah, it's an Italian father who makes himself a kid who wants to then be a real boy. Mm-hmm. And if he tells a lie, his nose grows really big. You know, imagine we had that out in the world. A lot of big noses out there.
The whole Congress would be...
There'd just be schnozzes everywhere. Everybody would look like Triple H.
Not Triple H. You're so bad. Not Triple H.
And then we also got The Red Balloon and Other Stories. 5 films by Albert Lamberzi.
Why did you say it like that?
Is that how you pronounce that guy's last name or lady's name?
Where is it? Lamari. I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Lamarzi.
I thought I saw a B in there. Anyway, 5 films. Can't really comment on that either. So December looks like it's a little bit of a down month for the Criterion Collection, but I'm really excited for Pinocchio. Okay. I know that you're not too thrilled about it, but I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't bother me.
Something that just doesn't float your boat, I guess?
Yeah.
All right. Well, another thing that we got announced is that supposedly Young Guns is coming to 4K.
Okay.
You know what Young Guns is? It's a Western movie, came out in like the late 90s, stars Emilio Estevez, well not late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, stars Emilio Estevez, John Diamond, Philip Diamond, Stewart?
Oh, God damn it. What is that?
This is a strange...
Charlie Sheen, and... let me get that guy's name right. Oh my God. The guy from freaking La Bamba, which is coming out pretty soon. John Diamond, Lou Diamond Phillips. I knew it was something with an ooh. I just didn't know what you wanted. So I wasn't.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure. So anyway, Young Guns, great Western, fun. You know, it's nothing like too serious. You've probably heard the Bon Jovi song, "Shot Down in a Blaze of Glory." Well, Bon Jovi actually is. Cameos, you know.
My ears.
I'm sorry, but anyway, supposedly coming to 4K Blu-ray, so very excited about that as well. Kino Lorber is giving us. Have you ever heard of this movie, The Monster Squad?
I heard of it, never saw it.
Never saw it. I've only seen it a couple times, but this is like a big movie for like kids of the 80s, and they're really excited about it. I have only seen it a couple times. Maybe I'll grab this Kino Lorber 4K. I'm interested. Here's one that I know you like. That's getting a 4K.
I like that one.
Office Christmas Party. This is the one that stars Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston, Kate McKinnon, who I just love from Saturday Night Live. She's one of the most underrated comedians out there. That movie's really funny. But yeah, that's kind of like a modern. Would you consider it a Christmas classic, or
I like
not
it.
yet?
I mean, it's not a classic, but
No.
I like to watch it every now and then.
It's fun.
We don't watch it every Christmas.
No,
season.
that's not an every Christmas one.
You have it.
Oh, yeah, I have it on Blu-ray, but I don't have it on 4K yet. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry.
Hey, well, there's not many Christmas movies coming out this year that are being upgraded. We got Scrooge. We got that. I heard that. Maybe not the Love Actually. Did you like that one? Mm-hmm. That one's getting a 4K release. I heard that's not confirmed yet. So I usually don't like to tell people things until it gets confirmed or put on Blu-ray.com. So, but that's the stuff that has been confirmed. And it looks like that was really it. But there was a good amount of stuff. I'm excited about a bunch of that. Are you excited about any of that? Yeah.
I like the Christmas story.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas Party.
Office Christmas Party. Mm-hmm. I would go bobsledding down a flight of stairs at my job if I could.
You wouldn't make it.
Nah, I wouldn't make it. But I would give it the old college try, you know. Well, whip out your old phone, and this is going to be the second week in a row where we do
yay!
This or that. This is the segment that Faith is spearheading. We go into this completely blind. Well, I go in completely blind, like I go into most situations. And Faith is here to give me. What are we doing? What's the topic?
So this is going to be music.
Music. Okay.
So some weeks will be shows, some weeks will be music, some will be movies, food, whatever.
Bunch of different topics.
Yeah. All right. So the first one would be Queen or Journey.
Oh my God. So if you're new to this, basically...
If you're new to this.
Basically, one of these bands has to go forever and all of their music, and the other one I get to keep forever. Well, I gotta go with Journey. As Faith probably knows, I don't know if she recalls, but our wedding song is Journey's Faithfully. That was the one thing I got to contribute to our wedding was Faithfully. I said I had one thing. I just said, let me pick the song. I think Faithfully is one of the best songs ever, and really just... It brings out the romantic in me. That's really what it is, and it just reminds me of loving you.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I have to keep Journey, even though I love Bohemian Rhapsody. And
That's not even my favorite song.
That's not my favorite Queen song either. So what would you keep? Because you do love Queen.
I love Queen.
But do you love me more than Queen? That's the question.
Yes, they love you. But
so the answer should be Journey.
But there's so many other beautiful songs too.
What's your favorite Queen song?
Ooh.
Because I really also like Hammer to Fall. That's a great one.
That's your favorite.
Hammer to Fall. I do. I love the guitar.
I like that one.
Oh my God, that song. And they used it so good. I think it was in Stranger Things too. Yeah, Hammer to Fall is fantastic. Radio Gaga is another big one for me. Killer Queen. I
like Killer Queen.
He's the Killer Queen. Dynamite with a laser beam.
Guaranteed to blow your mind.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's another good Queen song?
I like Another One Bites the Dust.
Another One Gone. Another One Done. Another One.
So that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I love Queen though.
No, Queen has so many hit after hit.
Yeah.
They were just, even till the very end, they were cranking them out, and R.I.P. Freddie Mercury. It's funny you picked these two, because these two, I would say, are the two best lead singers. That's why you did that?
That's why I did it.
The best leading men in rock.
You're gonna see that a lot. I'm only doing 3.
Okay.
All right. Then we have Wu-Tang and Outkast.
Okay, well, here, this will probably show my age compared to you, because I'm gonna go with Outkast.
Okay.
You know, because,
well, they were named the best rap group of all time.
Which I mean, I guess that probably, I still, like, okay, I prefer Outkast. If I was taking this with me, I think Wu-Tang is still more legendary, if that makes sense.
I think Wu-Tang is more, like, they marketed themselves like no other rap group ever.
The legacy of them.
The shirts, people still wear the W shirts.
The logo is iconic.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
They had their own, like, Wu-wear. I
mean, just look at the stuff that how artists
I'm from New York, so I'm gonna go Wu-Tang.
Get the money, dollar bill, yo. It's been 22.
I get that. It's just that I was born in 1992. Like, that was kind of at the height of Wu-Tang taking off. Kind of like when I started getting into rap, it was like the late 90s. And I mean, when did ODB die? Like, they all Wu-Tang was kind of, by the time I got into, they were all separated, you know. they were in different pockets and everything like that. I mean, by that point, what was Method Man already freaking acting? Like, so it was just a different time. But Outkast in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's when they took off. Like, that's exactly when Mrs. Jackson was on the rise. I
Are
love
you sorry, Sarah?
I have always apologized to Miss Jackson, but I've always been a real person, so.
All right, and
But
then I
you
know.
didn't tell me? Oh, you said you would take
I'll
it.
take this one. I know your answer already.
All right, go. Give it to me.
It's Biggie or Tupac.
Oh.
I already know.
Tupac, 110%. I've always
wrong.
been a Tupac. Yes, I knew this is why you saved this for last, because you want to have this debate now. Faith is a lot more into music than I am. As you can see, she's wearing a Drake shirt, which I do not support here on the channel.
I love him.
I know.
And we're gonna get people in the comments. Oh, Drake sucks. It's the same
And I'll agree with
mentality
them.
that like you. What if? It's like if you don't listen to music currently because you say, "Oh, it's not the same." Our parents did the same thing.
I know.
So
It's that
now you're just showing your age. Let
Yeah.
these young people, and Drake's like our age, so it doesn't really like he's young. He's in his 30s, so it's not like he's super young.
I just liked it when
But,
Drake was like out there, wheeling it around on Degrassi. So that's like when I was like in the Drake.
But I say
I like the 2011 album that he did. That was pretty good. I just can't remember the name of the album.
was it Views?
I don't know. I think it was only his second album at the time because it was. I mean, that was early in our relationship. I just remember that.
He has good music, and it's just if you don't listen to it and you're just like, a lot of times that's what we do. I did it for so long.
Gotcha.
Where I just be like not really interested in new music because I'm just like, oh, it's not the same. But it's not the same because it's of nostalgia.
Well,
You're
that's the
never
problem.
going to get that feeling that you did when you from 15 to like 25. Like you're not gonna get that same music feeling because that's when you were at the bars. That's where you were with your friends. That's when you know what I mean. Like that was
Yeah.
the time to be had. Once you get past that, it's just like, it's not the same. It's like I don't understand anymore, and I'm just like, because this is a new generation.
No, I appreciate that. Like, I might knock Drake and everything like that. I still respect him and all his music and everything like that.
I mean,
I just don't enjoy it.
There's 3 artists right now, currently, that will sell out every single tour, will sell millions, and
I'm
it's
curious to
Taylor
see-
Swift,
yeah.
Beyonce, and Drake.
Beyonce still, huh? You still think Beyonce's number 3?
Beyonce is, I think, because she's a woman, she hasn't surpassed Michael Jackson, but that's only because she's a woman.
Nobody, I feel like you gotta. This is another thing that I want.
And music, and we got to take it into, because this is not a music podcast, so
I don't think anyone can ever pass Michael Jackson, and here's why. Everything, I think we might have had this I don't know if I had this conversation with you or somebody else during the week, but everything has just kind of been separating into niche audiences of what you're listening to. Michael Jackson was able to like cross over into everything.
so is Beyonce.
But I can go my entire day without listening to Beyonce. I don't think you could
Because
escape
you're
Michael
not-
Jackson in 1985.
Their eyes and their words are really clear, so beat it.
You got to remember where technology was at.
But technology was different. That's my whole point.
Yes, but-
Now people don't really listen to the radio anymore.
That's
what
the
I'm
point
saying.
trying
So
to
now it's all, even albums are different.
Yes.
Now albums, you just pick singles that you like from that album,
But that's
and
what
you
I mean.
download it.
Thriller
so
and Bad
I
are
think
classic albums.
what you're saying is actually true, but you have to understand it was it's only because of the time that he was in.
Make. Exactly. That's
If
what
he was here now, it wouldn't be the same.
No, that's my point exactly. Is that back then he was literally he's forget just being the best pop star. He was the biggest star in the world. There was nobody bigger than Michael Jackson.
But
in the
Beyonce
90s.
is that. It's only if you pay attention to these things. If you're not
But
paying
yeah, but
attention,
it's very
to these
easy to
things,
avoid these things now. Back then, if you were in your car, you had to have the radio on. You can't put a podcast on. You had to put on whatever was on AF.
But that's why I say that's the only thing. That's the reason why I say that. What I'm saying is because she still has this audience without all of that. You see that? You get the difference? He
I
had to
understand.
be on TV all the time. He had to be on the radio all the time. There's this stuff to sell him. Beyonce drops an album and it's going to sell regardless if it's horrible or not because it's Beyonce.
I just think in the public consciousness,
There's only 3 people that really, right now, I feel can do. I mean,
Justin Bieber's still kind of floating on the edge with Miley Cyrus. I feel like
No.
no. I mean, I don't like Justin
It's
Bieber.
Taylor Swift. If you look at albums sold,
His
tours sold. Oh, I'm sure if Justin goes on tour right now, it's going to sell out. But I'm saying the 3 people that no matter what, you like them or not, they're going to sell. It's Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Drake. regardless if you like them or not.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But you're right, though. They don't sell albums anymore. They sell singles. Like, speaking
That's the
of
music
getting back to
industry.
the question, Tupac and Biggie, you've said it before that Biggie's put out, he passed away young, but he put out 2 classic albums and left. Like, 2 of the best rap albums ever. I agree with that. I just think Tupac's body of work speaks more to me.
But he has some horrible music too.
Yes, he does.
That's the thing is. That's how you. It's like Michael Jordan. You could say the same thing. He left basketball early, but so that's why he is considered the greatest.
No, he's considered the greatest because he won 6 rings and won 6 finals
But he
MVPs.
also left premature.
But came back.
Yeah, but that wasn't real.
And
You
don't
know
forget.
that.
Oh, no. I mean, he left, came back, and left again and came back again. This
Yeah.
guy retired like fucking people go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's just Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player.
I just think I go with Biggie because I can just the whole first 2 albums I can just
I
no
agree.
skips, nothing.
I get that. I
know?
get that. I still say that Tupac was the better artist overall, in my opinion. I've just always thought that his voice was unique. I enjoy his music a lot more.
Well, everybody has their own. That's like saying,
It's
I
all-
know you
it's
like Nas
subjective.
better than Jay-Z. It's
I
the
do.
same.
It's
You
subjective.
like that type of music.
Yeah, everything is subjective.
But I also don't know if you actually truly listened to Biggie's.
No, you know how I am. When it comes I can analyze film very well. When it comes to music, I'm more of a bubblegum pop kind of guy. So, I'm very basic. Give me the hits and I'm all good for it. That's really it for me. Like, I can go deep on certain artists, but not like film. I can just dive into every movie, analyze the shit out of it. But like with music, I just don't go that deep as Faith does. Faith loves music. She
love
listens to music all the time. She got really excited for a new Diddy album in 2023 the other day, right? And you said it was good.
Because it's current artist. He just does the production.
Gotcha.
So, like, when you say things like that mean, like, to me, that's like, again, showing your bias and kind of that you're old.
Hey!
That's just what it's showing me. Like,
You're
these are
older than
current.
me.
Yeah, I lacked it. It's current artist.
Yeah.
All he does is the production.
That is true. Well,
So-
he didn't. I just can't believe he couldn't get in front of a mic.
I mean, he's, you hear him, like,
Like bopping along.
like the Justin Bieber song he has on that album. Like, at the end, he's like, he has his own little thing he says.
Oh, okay.
But he puts his own little stamp.
Alright.
Just like DJ Khaled.
DJ.
But DJ Khaled makes great bodies of work, but he produces it. He doesn't. He's not an artist.
Well,
he's a producer.
There's no doubt that Diddy is one of the best musical minds ever. I mean,
Ever.
He started Bad Boy Records and he
Ever.
made stars for a while there. And, then he even spun himself into an act that I don't think many people thought. So I will definitely not sell Diddy short. I was just making a joke. I know how you are with Diddy.
I'm not a big fan of him. Trust me. It's just I enjoy music. That's what I listen to. I don't care. There's some people I won't listen to because I do care. I'm not gonna even give them acknowledgement. But they might have great music, and I'll just skip it.
Yeah.
But he's one person that
So
like
you
I'm not
actually-
really
well-
a big fan of him. But like I like his music.
We always talk about separating the art from the artist when it comes to film. Roman Polanski in Chinatown. I know you love Kanye West, but he is a very...
I still listen to Kanye.
You still listen, so you can separate the art from the artist with that.
For most things.
Yeah.
Once
Okay.
it deals with stuff dealing with kids, I can't.
That's right. I know
I can't
you're
respect
referring
you.
to.
Yeah.
I know you're referring to the guy who believed he could fly. Tell you what, can't fly that far. All right. Well, that was a good this or that. I think we had a good discussion, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. We're gonna dive into the Q&A portion of the show. We've been getting a lot more questions lately, so if we don't answer your question on this week's show, we'll always answer them first on next week's show. So Kevin L actually asked this question a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting for Faith to do this because I feel like Faith is really good when it comes to comedy. She loves comedy
I
films.
just don't know years.
Well, you'll know in a second, because what is your favorite comedy from the following years? So 1997, I'll pull up a list of 1997 comedies for you, Faith, but I actually already know my 1997
That's the only thing. I was like, I don't what years things come out. I don't have any clue.
So for me, it's going to be Liar, Liar for 1997, 100%. This was Jim Carrey's comeback movie, pretty much after people were a little bit disappointed.
It has to be Liar Liar.
Right? Yeah, I mean, nothing else in there really but even Liar, Liar is a comedy classic, especially in my household growing up. We loved Liar, Liar. We quoted that movie all the time.
Austin Powers.
That's right. 97 is Austin Powers. That's tough. I love Austin Powers.
You
still think you'd take Liar Liar?
Liar Liar.
That's tough for me. I do love Liar Liar. I just love the fact that him fighting himself so he doesn't lie.
I'm kicking my ass.
Which are just such clever moments in there. How he just a madman, Your Honor. A man at the very end of his pitiful rope. And then the fact that he just can't lie, and when his secretary is asking him how much this, you said Tiffany's.
Garage sale, $6.50 marked down from 10.
He told me he got it from Tiff. That movie, that's just Jim Carrey firing on all cylinders. He's hysterical in that movie. But Austin Powers is a classic too.
Yeah.
And I too like to live dangerously. I suggest you hit, sir. All right, the next one is 1982, so we'll look up 1982 comedies for you, Faith. Cycle through this. I already know my answer for this, and that is going to be Leia. That is going to be 48 Hours, the Eddie Murphy classic starring him.
It was going to be that.
You knew it? Is that going to be yours or no?
No.
Oh, wow. 48 Hours is a stone cold classic.
I mean, if there's nothing else, yeah.
That was Eddie Murphy's debut film. You know, he was riding, I think he's only 21 years old when this movie came out, but he was riding high. He was the star of SNL, the king of Saturday Night Live, really the only shining star on that show. That's why
it's going to have to be. Nothing really else was there.
But you don't really like that movie, huh?
It's not that I don't like it. There's better movies to me.
Yeah. I mean, 48 Hours, it's not my favorite Eddie Murphy movie either, but I really enjoyed 48 Hours. It's still really funny. I just crack. Little moments, like when Nick Nolte's walking up to the jail cell and he's singing Roxanne. Roxanne, you can
Oh,
jeez. Yeah, it became a musical podcast. That's what we do now. 2008, it's going to be tough for you. Because there is a lot. And one of them isn't even going to pop up on here, on this list, because I already did this. But I think I still have to pick. Actually, I know what I'm picking.
Ooh, this is hard.
Yeah, you know, it's one. Your number one's not even going to be on this list. And I'm going to tell you right now because it's my choice.
What?
Pineapple Express, 2008.
Really? That wouldn't be my choice.
Really? You love Pineapple Express.
I do, but
we've watched that movie like 4 times over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know, but
you're still gonna pick
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. I have.
And then Role Models.
I love Role Models too. That is a good movie.
Like what?
Role Models is one of the most underrated comedies
Tropic
ever.
Thunder.
I wouldn't put that as high as Role Models, in my opinion. I know people love.
No, I'm just saying there's such a great amount of movies.
I think Tropic Thunder's a bit overrated. But that's my opinion.
I like Tropic Thunder.
Most people
But
do.
I'll probably say Step Brothers. And then Role Models is right after that.
And then Pineapple Express? Wow, really? You really put Role Models that over Pineapple Express?
I like Pineapple Express when I smoke a joint.
Gotcha.
That's when I like
it. It is definitely the perfect stoner comedy. Yeah, but I just think it's also just a great, funny movie. Danny McBride, my God, that movie's fire. Him and James Franco, Seth Rogen, that movie's just firing on all cylinders. Step Brothers is almost perfect. I don't like the Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer. I don't like.
That ruins it for you?
Yeah, it really
does it.
That's in the third act, and it really like dampers me when they're fucking on stage playing the drums and singing. Like, and I don't really like that. And you know, you told me recently that Will Ferrell's father was an opera singer, so it does make sense why he'd be singing that. So I get it.
Did I tell you that?
Maybe. I feel like it was you.
I told you that.
No, maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. I'm gonna have to cycle through my catalog and find out who it was.
All right.
All right. Let's go to 2019. I think we might have the same choice.
Jojo Rabbit's a comedy?
Well, if you remember, I think 2017 or 2018, that was like the last year we got a lot of like good comedies. They don't really release comedies in theaters anymore. You've noticed that, right? Mm-hmm. And if they do bad. Like movies like Strays, like they don't do good anymore, especially
So I guess The Gentleman.
That's what I was going to pick,
That's
The Gentleman.
the one that stood out to me.
And that was the one for me, too. That's Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. That was one of the last movies we saw before the pandemic, I believe.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
It came out the end of 2019, and we saw it in early 2020. But, yeah, I think The Gentleman is very, very underrated. I mean, everyone, Colin Farrell, Matthew McConaughey. It's got that Guy Ritchie tone that you've seen in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I know you don't like it, but Snatch, too, very similar to that. Colin Farrell, though, steals it in this couple of scenes that he
always does.
He always does. Have you ever doubted Colin Farrell, man? You were wrong. Colin Farrell can act, and he does a phenomenal job in that movie. So that would be 2019. Now, 1965. This was tough. you probably haven't seen as much as me either.
Yeah, you can pick that.
I had a hard time with this. There's only a couple movies from 1965 that I'd seen. The Pink Panther is the only one. Peter Sellers' Pink Panther. That's definitely number one. But also, Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving came out that year. And Halloween.
Good for you.
So that's a pretty funny movie. 1978.
This is a big one.
So this one actually has a lot of ones that people would consider classics, but I don't necessarily consider classics, like Animal House. I don't think Animal House is that
I like
fun.
Animal House.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Okay. But that's the one I would pick.
Cheech and Chong?
Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. Absolutely. Love Cheech and Chong. My mom loves Cheech and Chong, too. So, I've always kind of enjoyed, especially Up in Smoke. But I've always enjoyed all their movies. We've discussed this before, though. Like, Cheech and Chong really has started the stereotype for stoners. Like, people think that's what a stoner is. Someone that smokes that much weed and they're sitting in a parking lot and don't realize they're driving. Now, that does happen, but not to that extent,
No, come on.
Nobody is like that. I mean, I have met some people who have fried their brains, but usually that's because they mixed it with something else.
It wasn't just the marijuana.
Not just the weed. There was a little bit of other stuff, being that they were, dabbling. Usually some kind of dust from an angel or something else out there.
The fairy comes in.
Yeah, sprinkle that on top. You know how that goes. So, and then the last year, now this one was actually almost impossible because I definitely have never seen a comedy from 1955.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
So I couldn't even answer that one, Kevin. But this was a great question, buddy. Thank you so much. Don't you dare. Oh, I thought you were shooting the pistols at him. That's what I thought you were just doing with your hands.
Scratch on my finger.
Okay. And the next Kevin L question is, how would you rank the villains from all the Batman movies?
Oh.
So, we'll just do, from 89 till the present day.
That's a lot of Batman.
Well, the Joker appears twice.
Yeah, I like...
so does Bane.
I like Bane.
Two-Face.
I think Bane would probably be third for me.
That's your number 3?
I think the Joker from both 89 and Heath Ledger was...
Those are probably 1, 2, right? Just because those are the best.
Yeah, I mean, one was like a gangster, the other one was a psychopath, so different.
You know what? It's so funny because that is 100% true, but for some reason, even though the Joker in 89's Batman is a gangster, I never think of him as a gangster. I think of him as a fucking Looney Tune psychopath too, but you're right. Heath Ledger's Joker he just wants to create chaos, whereas Batman 89's Joker, he wants to create chaos, but he also wants to get ahead of everyone, too. He's still got a little bit of a normal agenda there. He just fried his brain a little bit. Green goo acid will do that to you. So that would be like 1, 2 for me also, would be those two. But I also really like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in Batman Returns. Okay. But I think you said you prefer Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. We've gotten 3 Catwomans.
I like Anne Hathaway. I think I don't know. I mean, I like them all, but I know Anne Hathaway more. I feel like maybe I'm just... That's not Anne Hathaway.
No, you're right. That's what's her name from Speed.
It's Sandra Bullock.
Oh, I didn't realize. I don't know. I'm telling you, Miss Congeniality, whatever the one that Anne Hathaway's in. What is it? The Princess Diaries, Legally Blonde. All those movies, for some reason in my brain, they all blend together. So I get all the actresses mixed up in all of them. If that makes sense.
It doesn't, but okay.
Okay, if you understand, so you know where I'm coming from. So yeah, I mean, if I was going to rate the Catwomen, I would think that, honestly, Anne Hathaway would be 3. Michelle Pfeiffer, Zoe Kravitz, and then Anne
I like
Hathaway.
Zoe Kravitz, too. I don't think any of them did a better job than the other. I just like Anne Hathaway.
I get that. I like Anne Hathaway, too. She's very cute, charming. She's got this, very distinct personality to her. She's a little bit quippy. I kind of like her. I agree. She's good at
quippy.
Like quippy? Like she's quirky.
Quirky.
I said quippy. Quippy.
Yeah. Waking up our new words here.
Someone's got to do it. Someone made up all these words. Why can't I
That's
make up
true.
words?
That's true.
I'm out here. I'm going to be a new dictionary for everybody.
Oh, no.
We've only gotten one Mr. Freeze. He'd probably be near the bottom, even though I do like Arnold cranking out one-liners. Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face is pretty damn bad. But the Riddler, I do love both Riddlers that we've
You
gotten.
like the Penguin?
As much as I love Danny DeVito, and he is great as the Penguin, I'll admit, he kind of grosses me out in Batman Returns.
He grosses me out, just in general.
Well, that's fine. he took his Batman Returns energy and he brought it to Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
He did.
He just loves to make himself look like a slob.
He did.
It's like,
The worst was when he take Always Sunny, and the episode when they're on the plane.
Yeah.
He's like, he takes the beer. He goes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drink 25 beers right in front of your face. I'm gonna do it now. And it's like just pouring out of him.
Gross. He does that a couple times. The other time when he's walking down the street and he doesn't even know Mac's behind him, he's just over there walking around. He's like, "Where are you guys?" Like, "I've been walking with you for a mile." And then he drinks the beer and he's like burping and stuff. And like, oh no, he's gross. But in Batman Returns, he's eating a fish, like, and he's all wearing that fat. Oh my god, it's disgusting. It could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood. What? And then he bites us. Oh my god. Colin Farrell went a very different route.
No, he's a gangster.
He was a gangster, and I really like Colin Farrell's Penguin. I think he did a great job. What are you showing me here?
I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, I think we did. Whatever. It's a great scene. But Paul Dano was a good Riddler, too, so I'd probably put him pretty high up. That's a good question, Kevin. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, buddy. Speaking of superheroes, what are the top 5 worst superhero movies?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
This is also Kevin.
There's a lot of them, but I think they have to be some of the Batmans in the 90s.
Batman and Robin is definitely on the list of some of the worst. Also, Morbius from last year.
Oh yeah,
that movie,
awful.
Atrocious. Jared Leto.
I didn't like Suicide Squad.
The original one, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would put that pretty high too. It had its moments, but that is definitely one of the worst. Superman Returns. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's a snooze fest. No, Superman 4. The Quest for Peace. The Quest for Shut That Movie Down is what it should have been called, because that movie is just absolute. That's a joke. I watched that this year. That's a bad one. I'd have to put that pretty high. Really, Batman hasn't really had too many misses other than Batman and Robin. Blade Trinity isn't one of my favorites.
Okay.
So I'd probably put that a light. What was the movie that came out from Marvel a few years ago? And they just ignored it now. The Externals? The Expendables?
Internals.
The Eternals. Yeah, that movie was...
I didn't see that.
Good. Don't waste your time. That was another slodge. So much potential in there. So many great actors, great premise, horrible execution, and it's a shame because I love Chloe Zhao. I think she's a great director. She directed Nomadland and The Rider. I just don't know if her style meshed well with the MCU.
Okay.
It's a shame though, because I really do like her.
Okay.
And that was a great question, Kevin. Thank you so much. And this one is from Spooky, and he wrote, "My question is..."
Give me something spooky.
I knew you were going to say that. The guy said, "Give us something spooky." No, he didn't. Yeah, he did.
I'm just so fucking confused.
Your name's Brian, too? No, that's why I'm so fucking confused right now. I think you should leave now. And he wrote, "My question is, what has to be the worst Blu-ray you would rid of your collection?" So I actually recently just cleansed the collection. So I got most of the movies I don't want to keep out. But there are a couple bad 4Ks and Blu-rays that I can't part with, even though I think they're bad. And those are Heat, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and Terminator 2's 4Ks. All of those are way worse than the previous Blu-ray editions. I actually own Terminator 2 on 4K twice, the same bad scan. I don't know if you knew that. It's just because I really love the packaging and it's one of my favorite movies ever. So I own a movie that I'm never going to watch twice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm never even going to put that in. I put the Skynet edition in. I don't even watch those 4Ks. It's just so bad. It's a bad scan. So those movies I actually keep in my collection despite never ever watching them, if that makes any sense. Doesn't, right? Mm-mm. So yeah, and then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I'm going to give it one more shot this November, and if it's just as bad as I remember from last year, then that...
You hated that.
It was all... I was so upset. I was so upset last year, but I'm hoping that I was wrong. I don't know. I got to try again. It was... That's one of my favorite movies ever, and they ruined it. They spit in my face, Paramount. Might as well just come and just ruin Thanksgiving dinner, because that's what they did. And then Heat... That one I have to give another shot, so we'll be fair to that. But that's a great question, Spooky. Thank you so much.
Spooky. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Yeah, you should be sorry. All right, and then this one is from Tell Him Freddy Says Ya, and he wrote, "Favorite Jerry Bruckheimer film." So Jerry Bruckheimer is a producer. You've probably heard of him and Don Simpson. They have the lightning logo in front of a bunch of movies from like the 80s and 90s. Any Tom Cruise movie really, like Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Michael Bay movies. That's a lot of Jerry Bruckheimer, like those 80s kind of action movies. He did it with Don Simpson. Don Simpson is one of the most famous drug addicts ever, loved cocaine, actually died very young, and he actually was trying to get off cocaine when they were making The Rock in like 95, so he brought somebody in to help him get off cocaine. That guy died of a drug overdose in his house trying to help him get off drugs. So Don Simpson knew how to do drugs better than anyone. But Jerry Bruckheimer is probably the more straight-laced one of them. And I think that he is a great producer. And I would have to say, obviously, my favorite one would be Days of Thunder. I love Days of Thunder.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite movies. It's still my favorite Tom Cruise movie. I know that's a favorite to me. I know it's not the best, but I love Days of Thunder. I run back to that movie.
You have your own taste.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's just one of my... that movie's very, very special to me. Seen it a gajillion times. We'll see it a gajillion times more. So that's my favorite Jerry Bruckheimer produced film. I hope I'm right in saying that Jerry Bruckheimer produced that film. Pretty sure. So anyway, what would you pick? Like Top Gun? Top Gun Maverick?
It's only 80s?
No, Jenny filmed that. I'll just get you a list.
Because I don't know. Bad Boys. Right away. And I was going to ask you, Bad Boys.
Well, I said Michael Bay produced film.
But then you kind of went straight 80s. That's the one that I would, right away, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, yeah. Well, he did pretty much all of Michael Bay's films, so if you want to think of Michael Bay and all his, like I said, he did The Rock. I think this came out a year after The Rock, right? He did Bad Boys 2 also, but I think 95, which one was first? Bad Boys or The Rock? They were back-to-back. I think Bad Boys 95, The Rock in 96. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. I know they're back-to-back years, but I just can't remember. I think 95 was Bad Boys, though, because I could always watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and know what movie Will Smith's making based on his hairstyle. So I knew when he was making Independence Day in the last season because he had the same hairstyle as whatever his character's name was in Independence Day. It's how much times I've watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's disgusting. So that's a great question, Tell him Freddie sent you. So Days of Thunder for me, Bad Boys for Faith. And Faith has been a bad girl. So let's move on.
What does that even mean? What? Don't put that in there.
Why?
So you're weird.
It's going to be funny. Question. This is from William Thomas, and he asks, which 4K from this year so far has surprised you the most? For me, I think it was Enter the Dragon. I was surprised at how well that movie cleaned up. That movie did surprise me in how well it cleaned up as well, but you guys can see my review here on the channel. I was disappointed with the lack of any extras whatsoever, but I can't take anything away from the scan of that film. My most surprising, though, has to be Matilda. I didn't think that they didn't have to go all out and give us a almost reference quality in visuals and audio for a movie like that has a very condensed audience out there who, that movie's probably not beloved by many people. It's beloved by people of like me and Faith's age who grew up with Matilda. So that was a very different time, and I know people probably outside of that bubble don't love Matilda, so you wouldn't expect them to go out and give it all the bells and whistles like they would to other movies, but they did for Matilda. So that's still my number one most underrated 4K of this year. There's been a lot of good 4Ks that have come out that I feel like have gotten people have just blown by that have been in really high quality. And then we've also had a lot of disappointments this year, and, that's just the way it goes. Like, movies that we overhype, like The Exorcist pretty much lived up to the hype, but it wasn't a 10 out of 10 4K. But Matilda, I would have expected like a 7 out of 10 4K, and we got a 9.5 out of 10. So it's that damn good. So that would be my most underrated 4K Blu-ray of the year so far. All right, this is going to be our last question from Kevin L. for the week. He has one more question, but we're going to answer that last question next week. But this one is, if you were an actor, you're not an actor, which role in the following movies would you pick? Star Wars A New Hope, The Dark Knight, Terminator, Jurassic Park, Pulp Fiction, Lord of the Rings, or Ocean's 11?
Obviously, I would be Princess Leia, or General Leia. I would be the Joker for The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah? Well, I would be Harrison Ford because me and him have very similar cool personalities, so I'd be Han Solo in Star Wars A New Hope.
Oh, we're twins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We do. We have those...
Can you see it?
I don't know, probably.
No, I don't think
stand up real quick. Yeah. So we do have matching Star Wars tattoos. So, yeah, look at that. You could be my Princess Leia, and I can be your Han Solo. Leia! 7,000 bucks won't solve any problems for anybody.
We have our own Leia here.
Yeah, our dog Leia. She's a princess too in her own way. In The Dark Knight, I would be Batman. Because
You're gonna be fighting me?
Oh, you know what? Actually, Batman sounds like the worst job ever. What am I saying? I'm just getting impressed with how cool Batman is. Who do I want to be? I don't want to be the Joker either. That sounds miserable also. Oh, man. But if I'm the actor, yeah, the Joker's the best part. I want to be just someone hanging out. I'll be Alfred. Terminator. I'm going to be the T-800. He's cool as shit. It's all Schwarzenegger.
And I'll be fighting you.
So you want to be the T-1000?
Yeah.
Nice. I'd kill you way quicker than Arnold was able to get to Robert Patrick. What about Jurassic Park?
I'll be one of the dinosaurs.
I was gonna pick the T-Rex, but no, I'm gonna go Jeff Gold. I'm gonna go Jeff Goldblum in that movie. Jeff Goldblum when he got his shirt off, because I look good with my shirt off, right?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you,
Absolutely.
baby. In Pulp Fiction, I'm Jules. Hell yeah, Samuel Jackson.
I'm gonna be the girl that says, "Now give me all your money." That girl in the beginning.
Or I'll execute every motherfucking one of you.
That would be me.
Oh, she is great. Is that Amy Plummer? That's not Amy Plummer, but it might be Amy Plummer. Anyway, great. Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call. I like that call. Lord of the Rings. Come on, Faith.
You're gonna be Smeagol.
You're gonna make me Smeagol? That's not who you know what? I want to be him. I'm gonna lean right into it. My precious.
I'll be one of the elves,
obviously,
dwarfs, or
yeah.
whatever. Because I don't know. I don't like.
You're gonna be a
Lord of the
hobbit.
Rings. I don't like.
Oh my
Lord.
god! But I think you got to rewatch them. They're really, really good. I think of the Hobbit now, though. I think of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian on South Park when Kanye West is calling up like Kim Kardashian. He's like, "Bitch, are you a Hobbit? Why didn't you tell me you're a Hobbit?" Ocean's 11. How do you not pick Danny? I would pick actually Brad Pitt's character.
I don't think I've seen it.
What? Ocean's 11? Really?
Yeah. So I don't know. I know there's girl. They have one with just girls. Ocean's 12.
No, it's Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8. Oh.
It's 11, 12, and 13 is the original trilogy, and then they have Ocean's 8, which had Sandra Bullock, Anne Hathaway, and a bunch of other people who I can't remember off the top of my head right now. No, Julia Roberts, though, is in Ocean's 11.
Yeah, I might have seen it, but a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, Ocean's 11 is fantastic, but it's hard not to pick either George Clooney's Danny Ocean or Brad Pitt's character. So I'd probably pick Brad Pitt due to the similarities in looks. So, and also he's eating something in every scene. That's one thing he wanted to do. Was
and you want to eat?
I spend the whole day eating.
I'm starving.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we're gonna do when we get out of here. We got to go pick up my car, the old Batmobile, from the shop, and then maybe we'll go get something to eat. What do you think?
I'm getting a little hangry.
Yeah, a little. You are hangry. When Faith gets hungry, Faith needs to eat a Snickers because she is not herself when she is hungry. So that's going to do it here for us on this week's episode of Let's Talk Physical Media. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you want to ask any questions or leave any comments for next week's show, make sure you do that down in the comment section below. And then while you guys are down there, make sure you like this video or podcast, whatever version you are watching or listening to. Subscribe to the channel or podcast. Then just get out in those streets and tell your friends about us. We'll be seeing you around.